All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hamzah Sheeraz versus Simon Zackenhuber. Zacken who? Zacken fucking what? I don't know what that fight was. Honestly, I watched it this morning, made the AJ video, spoke a little bit about it. Went out today, when I watched the Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence fight, had media access to that. Came home, rewatched the highlights of the fight. I didn't go back and watch the fight, but I'm still so lost of what we saw from Hamzah Sheeraz today. And I'm actually really disappointed in what we saw from Hamzah Sheeraz today. Hamzah Sheeraz going up against Arlen Bekic. Actually, let's go back before that. Going in there with Edgar Berlanga, tough test. Lots of people questioning both fighters. But Hamzah Sheeraz blasts him away. Like fucking phenomenal performance. And you're thinking him and Andy Lee, this link up is elite. Fast forward, goes and takes on Arlen Bekic. Everybody knows Arlen Bekic is there for the taking. I said he should be able to dish him out in one round. All right, he runs through Arlen Bekic, wins the world title, becomes a world champion. Supposed to become 10% better when you become world champion. Still working this stuff with Andy Lee. All right, it's looking good. We won quickly. Let's back it up very, very soon. Let's go take on Simon Zackenhuber. Let's let's perform on a big stage in England. In Riyadh. Turns up today. Everybody is basically saying the same thing as they were saying about Arlen Bekic. It's, when, not if. It is, let's see this victory quickly. Let's see you run through this guy. You are leaps and bounds better than him. We all know that, and Hamzah Sheeraz knows that. And for whatever reason, we saw this fight go the distance in a pretty stale affair where I think Hamzah Sheeraz might have landed 15 jabs or some shit. I saw a stat like that, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but it was an atrocious stat. And you watch that fight, and you're bored out of your mind, and you're just thinking, it was one of those fights where I think Hamzah Sheeraz might have fallen into the trap of believing his own hype or believing it was just going to magically happen. Because that's what it looked like. It looked like Hamzah Sheeraz was thinking the punch is just going to magically land, the fight will be over, and we're all going to have a fucking party. And then all of a sudden, 10 rounds have gone past, and you're saying, you got 2 rounds left here, and you really haven't put a dent on Simon. Simon's, maybe won 1 or 2 rounds. He's not impressed, but he hasn't been hurt. He doesn't look hurt. He's having a dance. He's more than happy. Look, he's smiling. He's saying, fuck, everybody was counting me out. I'm about to go to a decision here against a world champion. So how do you fucking like that? And you left there looking at Hamzah Sheeraz and saying, you know what? You've showed up today. All right. You're looking like Thomas the Hitman Hearns in those yellow pants. We're all expecting to see what the Hitman did to Roberto Duran. And instead we saw, I don't know what we saw. We definitely didn't see the Motor City Cobra. That's for fucking damn sure. I don't know why. Like I said, I think Hamzah Sheeraz might have fallen into a trap of believing his own hype a little bit and just thought it was going to happen without putting in the effort to happen. Like, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. It wasn't even though he was throwing combination after combination. I reckon that at that pace, Hamzah Sheeraz could have done another 10 rounds, and that's not what you should be saying. You should be saying you left it all out in that ring. You are the world champion. Everybody knew that you were leaps and bounds better than that guy, and I think Hamzah Sheeraz, against a better opponent, probably performs better. I think he knew that he could turn up today 50% and win, and that's what it looked like. It looked like a guy that turned up and put 50% in. I don't know. You can't really criticize the guy as well because it's like, well, you won by an absolute mile, but it wasn't the Hamzah Sheeraz that we've seen the last 2 times. It's not the Hamzah Sheeraz that's going to get people to come and watch it. You're not going to main event performing like that. And I was so excited to see Hamzah Sheeraz today. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. The other guy that turned up today, Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly fought very well for the first 6 rounds and then became a very cagey affair for the second half of that fight. But I do think Josh Kelly did enough to win it. Keegan Ajako, if he started quicker, very well could have been a world champion. I think if Keegan Ajako started a bit quicker, he would have become a world champion today. Though Josh Kelly's always good in the first 4 or 5 rounds. He was the same against Barkram. He's lightning quick, great combinations, great skill, hard to hit. And then once he slows down in the second half of the fight, the opportunities arise. And I think that's what we saw today. But the big one is Hamzah Sheeraz. Disappointing, man. Disappointing. I would have liked to have seen him today against Jakob Bank. That's the fight that should have been on today. It shouldn't have been him versus Simon Zackenhuber, but that's the one we got. And it was like, all right, if you're taking on someone so below your level, Simon Zackenhuber lost a fight earlier this year, and he's in a world title fight. If you're taking on a guy this low, you've got to go out there and you have to impress. You have to go out there and knock this guy out. That sounds greedy. That sounds harsh. That sounds, like, oh, nothing's ever good enough. But at the end of the day, you were in there with Simon Zackenhuber. This wasn't going to a decision with Christian Mbili or Diego Pacheco or someone at the top of it, or Jaime Munguia, somebody like that. This was a guy nobody knew Nobody wanted to see you face. You were supposed to go in there and demolish him. And for whatever reason, the guy saw the final bell. The guy snatched a few rounds, and Hamzah Sheeraz looked pretty stale. So I hope we get to see Hamzah Sheeraz back in the ring by the end of this year. And I hope it is a bigger fight, and I hope it is Jacob Bank. That's a fight. That is a fight and a half. And I think it's a fight that Hamzah Sheeraz can't overlook. And I don't think he will overlook. And I think complacency was the victim today. I think it was falling into a trap, believing your own hype, and thinking it was just going to magically happen, and it didn't happen. Let me know what your thoughts are of Hamzah Sheeraz. It's only a quick video, a bit different to what usual, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about Hamzah Sheeraz. There's not much to dive deep in. Check out the other videos that I made today. Anthony Joshua, 2 press conference videos, and a Tim Tszyu reaction. Heaps of stuff going on the channel. Like, subscribe. I'm out of here, guys. See ya.